because I was a little bit distracted by that. Congratulations, Soldier, on returning to the game, or I should say shout out to Soldier for returning to the game and putting on a good show against Ryu. Looking at those games, I don't think it was clear cut. I do think there were opportunities where Soldier could have won either one of those games, game 1 or game 2. So I was very impressed with how Soldier played his TVZ, his very unique style, especially with his mech. So I hope to see Soldier again. I hope to see him in more TVCs. I want to see how he does against specifically Jim, especially with that mass Thor style. I do think that does counter Jim's style specifically. So I would love to see him against Jim Rising. I'd love to see him against Eggs. I hope we do see more of Soldier in the future. But enough about Soldier, because here we have the player who took down Soldier, who took down the Chilean Terran. We have the Peruvian Zerg player representing one of the best teams out there, the CranKy Ducklings. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Brazilian Terran player representing Amantes de StarCraft. He just 2-0'd Eggs. That's insane. Oh my god. The rising star, the next generation of Latin American pro gamers. It is YanXII. Yan. Is it YanXII? Is it YanXII? I think it's YanXII, but I just love saying Xi. And yeah, I'm impressed, and I'm ready to be even more impressed. I'm like, mate, he's already had a great result today. I want to see how much further he can go. And I just double check. Yes, he is 17 years old. This man, this boy, this prodigy was born in 2004, people. 2004. Oh god, I feel so old. When you look at some of these young players and how good at the game they are and how young they are, there's players in all the regions. Like there's Argo Fire from Europe, there's YanXII here in Latin America, there's players like Trigger in North America. So much young talent in some of these regions. It's insane. It's insane. But can he break into the scene is the question. Taking down Eggs is the first big step. Very big step. I'm sure that does give him a boost in confidence, I must say. It does mean that in future series against Eggs, he won't have like any kind of imposing like hindrance behind him, thinking, oh my god, it's Eggs, it's the best player of Colombia. Like, can I even beat him? I'm sure now he's gonna no, I'm sure now Eggs is gonna be a little bit upset the next time they face as well. But now he's up against the best Zerg player in Peru. He just took down the best Zerg in Colombia. Now he's moving over to the north. He's moving over to Peru. Can he take him down? Ryu, he's a very different kind of Zerg player. Ryu, he's the Lurker King. Both games we saw against Soldier, he went for Lurkers. That's his thing. Jim has his mutas. Ryu has his Lurkers. What does YanXII have? That's the question. Can he stop him? We're on Glittering Ashes, a pretty large map, a pretty Zerg favored map, to be honest. Like, it's that much easier to expand, take more bases. The bases are pretty far apart, so maybe YanXII can try and pull Ryu apart with multi-prong attacks, with drops all over the place. It's possible. But what I'm a little bit concerned about is his opener. Oh, so he went for a 1-1-1. He did not go for a fast OTC, and this will get scouted. Ryu will confirm the timing of the starport, so he knows it's not an economic opener. This could be a Banshee, this could be a swap, or it could be BC. And it looks like Ryu will not confirm the fusion core. The Marine should just barely kill the Overlord. Marine, please. The Viking comes out, not in time. Ryu, he does spot the fusion core. He knows it is a BC opener. And YanXII should know that Ryu knows. Oh. So Ryu does get the scout off in time. And with that, we should be seeing spores thrown down. We should see mass queen production as well. And we should see, you know, a transition into a lair, and typically the response is you go lair and you can go into mutas to hunt down those BCs and to deal economic damage from there, or into corruptors to just hard shut down the BCs and just to have them deal with any other BCs that show up. The BC opener is also an indicator of mech. Mech is a very popular follow-up from the BC, so it's possible that YanXII will throw down another factory from here. The reason for this being is because the stim upgrade is very delayed when you go for this, because the tech lab on the racks is delayed. So we could be seeing mech from here, which I'm a little bit concerned about. Ugh, mech. Ugh, disgusting. We'll see. Hellions are trying to poke in, and oh, it looks like they may find a way. Oh no, they do not. The Ling Bane is ready and waiting. Lings do not find a way into the natural base. Roach Warren is thrown down. Lair is on the way as well. So Ryu he even has a couple of spores in between his bases, which I do appreciate. So he has everything he needs to defend. It's all about positioning, especially because these Hellions to the north and the south, they're going to be waiting for the BC to pull away all of these queens. If the BC goes into the main, which it does, the queens respond, and that opens things up for the Hellions. Hellions do meet two queens here on the right-hand side, but over on the left, they try to get into the middle line, but the Banelings are waiting for them, and Ryu will defend. Hellions do not find a way in, and the queens do push away the BC. Not before the BC gets 6 worker kills. So honestly, very good defense here from Ryu. A lesser Zerg player would have lost the mineral line. Ryu had to make sure he was able to defend at 3 places at once, and just like that, he was able to. There are still some Hellions here towards the south, but again, there's only 1 force of Hellions, not 2, not anymore. So a very nice defense by Ryu. BC is trying to rotate around, trying to deal some damage. Oh, could get a free queen. Ryu, please. At the same time, Hellions, they YOLO in and they get cleaned up. Oh, YanXII being a little bit careless there with his Hellions. Meanwhile, Ryu does hold on to his 4th base. He does have enough queens. He does have enough transfuses to force this away. And we were talking about mech. There it is. We do have 2 additional factories thrown down. What's important is that Ryu confirmed this. Once the lair was done, he morphed in an Overseer, and he saw both factories. He also sees Yamato on the way. So he recognizes that there will be continued BC production on top of this. Oh, once again, the Hellions try to bust in. They have cleared a lot of creep here towards the south, which is honestly really great. It does kind of mean that we can see a push from this location later on. Just weakening the vision, weakening just the presence that Ryu has on the map, as because of this style, Ryu has been forced to defend this entire time. He's just been stuck at home. Now we have 2 BCs. Oh, transfusion! Do you see a transfuse? Do you see the... Oh, we did not see another transfuse. We actually don't have any more energy. Ooh, we ran out of energy here. No more transfuses at the same time. Hellions dive in, and this time they will finally get some worker kills. It took a long time. I think this is the 3rd Hellion run by here towards the right-hand side. 9 drones get picked off. Well worth it in the end. Ryu is going for a very interesting response to the BCs, by the way. Shout out to the token swarm host that's being made. You always see this. It happens more often than Zergs would like to admit, but yes, we do have the token swarm host. Is an accident. It is being sent out to die. But Ryu's response to BC is neural. I don't know if you noticed, but neural parasite was researched. We do have these infestors. It's a very bold strategy. You avoid the Spire, you avoid the Corruptors, you avoid going into a faster Hydroden, and these infestors are designed to take control of the BCs. The risky thing is that obviously infestors are very slow, and they have to be in position. If they're not, then things can get out of hand, especially if the infestors get Yamato'd. So a lot of this is going to be on the control of Ryu. It's a lot less a movie than Corruptors would have been. Here we go. BC's moving out. The other way that this is this can hard counter BCs is obviously BCs can teleport away. If you neural them, they cannot teleport. You can actually force a teleport on top of each other, and then you can force a bile as well. Here we go. Oh, he catches all 3. Oh my god, they Yamato each other. Oh, beautifully done. All 3 BCs are gonna get picked off, maybe? The Neuro's about to run out. Up. Never mind. 1 BC escapes, but that was the trap that Ryu was waiting for. And just like that, the Infestors have paid for themselves. It can be very annoying dealing with BCs. They survive for so long, but there is only 1 remaining, and 1 BC is no longer a threat. And now Ryu can get into Hydra, Lurker, Viper. The one downside, because he rushed into the Hive and because he rushed into the Infestors, and that's where a lot of his gas went, his upgrades are lacking. He's only just now working on 2-1. So his upgrades aren't looking that great, and the army is coming out. Oh god, this is a very strong push. What do we have to defend? We don't have any Lurkers, not yet. All the Infestors are able to survive. Vipers only just now come out. They need energy. They need time to gather that energy for the Abducts. Oh boy. Thankfully, the mech army is slow. This is not like Soldier. This is not the battle mech Hellion Cyclone style. This is a lot more traditional, and because of that, it's a lot slower, so the Vipers will have time to gather energy to get enough for the Blinding Clouds, for the Abducts. No Parasitic Bomb. Sure, there is 1 BC. Oh my god, the Infestors is going for a flank. Bold move, Cotton. Bold move. What's the play here? He takes control of the tanks. Oh my god, we have the Blinding Cloud on the wrist. All the Hellions are gone, and just like that, Ryu swallows up this army. Oh my god. The flanking Infestors were the MVPs. They gave their lives for that fight. But just like that, the tank count for YanXII has been completely reset. He's going for a bit of a run by. This will buy some time. Ryu is forced to respond with his entire army. He comes all the way back home. And just like that, Ryu is ahead, 50 supply. He should be going for a counterattack right now. What does he need? He still needs to gather energy. He is missing Lurkers. He has pure Hydra, which is less than ideal. We usually want a couple of Lurkers with this. And because he's taking so long, he's clearing out rocks. I'm sure he's going to wait for Lurkers as well. YanXII does have enough time to fortify himself at home. He doesn't have an army to have a presence on the map, but look at all these missile turrets. Look at the sensor towers. Look at the tanks. He is turtling up hard. Oh, but he's out of position. Oh no, his tanks were not where they needed to be. The Roach Hydra pushes forward. A lot of these missile turrets are going to get taken out, and this base is under threat. There are a lot of tanks. Ryu cannot push into this, but he can bring the tanks to him. Some nice yoinks going down. Oh, one more. Up, 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 up. There we go. 3 tanks get picked off, and the base is denied. YanXII is stuck on 3 base economy. 3 bases is not enough to sustain all of this production, to be able to afford a mech of all things. And finally, 8 Lurkers are on the way. Not just 8 Lurkers. I know if you noticed, Niduses just finished up. There we go, double Nidus. I was talking about this before. This is Ryu's kill move. His signature play is double Nidus. 1 in the low ground, 1 in the high ground. Get on top of the production and just dismantle the Terran army. He does this in mech, against mech. He does it against Bio. He does it against Protoss. And YanXII doesn't see. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He forgot. The Hydras, the Roaches, the Vipers, not Vipers, sorry, the Lurkers, everything gets into the main base. And what's important about this is that 1, there's only 2 tanks to defend. 2, all this production is forfeit. We see a couple of yoinks being thrown down as well. The Lurkers are coming on forward. They finally have their upgrades. GG is called. And Ryu takes game number 1. Oh my god. GG, well played. Oh, hello, Pez. Hello. I see Pezza Perry. Good morning. Good morning. He is, I was gonna call him an Australian Protoss player. He's an Australian Terran player nowadays. Oh god, but welcome people who are tuning into the stream. But that was a spicy ZvT there. Very nice responses from Ryu, very unique as well. I think of how YanXII 2-0'd eggs, and I know eggs wouldn't have played it out that way. I know that he probably would have gone for a Spire instead. He may have even gone into Mutas to deal with the BCs and to counterattack across the map. I think what I'm trying to emphasize is a different way of, or a different style of Zerg that YanXII now has to contend with. And I'm sure that's a little bit of it's something to get used to, but you know, that's how we are in Latin America. We have very stylistic Zerg players, and you have to be able to deal with all these different compositions. And oh, what a game. GG. Ignac in the chat, he was reminded of co-op. Because Thors, I guess, give an AoE buff to the army in co-op. True. But what a game. What a game one. Now we are diving into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE. We have the Peruvian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings, currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. Can he close it out, or are we going to the ace match? It is Ryu. And spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Brazilian Terran player representing Amantes de StarCraft, already accomplishing a lot this tournament, taking out eggs 2-0, but struggling a little bit against his current opponent. Can he do it? Can he bring it to the ace match? It is YanXII. Oh boy. I have to get used to this. The fact that Teza Terry is in the chat. Balance whining against lurkers. Nah. I mentioned this earlier. Lurkers are something that a lot of people is currently there's discussion going on about when it comes to balance changes. There are rumors that there will be a balance patch after Katowice, and if there is a balance patch, lurkers are something that a lot of people are looking at to get nerfed. Not just lurkers, but also Skytoss, or the ability for Protoss to, I guess, nerfing double Stargate Void Ray is probably like the biggest thing when it comes to Protoss. And when it comes to Terran, a lot of people are looking at nerfing Widowmines. And we'll see. I feel like the big things are like Widowmine, Lurker, and double Stargate Void Ray. I don't know if carriers necessarily need to be nerfed, but yeah, those are some of the key aspects of the game that people are looking at to hopefully change in some way in the potentially upcoming balance patch. I know lurkers are a big part of that as well. Oh, but oh my god, wow. I was about to say Ryu once again trying to sneak out his drone, but immediately does get spotted by this Reaper. Nicely done by YanXII. Does force the gas guys, but oh my god! Almost gets surrounded. Jesus Christ. YanXII, please. Almost gets... Oh no! He flew too close to the sun. Just barely. He escapes. 2 HP. At least YanXII does keep it alive, so we can confirm. Okay, third base was thrown down. You can feel a little bit safer about that. My god. As we get into this game, and I'm really curious to see if YanXII is going to go mech again. Has he been going nothing but mech in this matchup? Is he mixing things up like Soldier? If you remember, Soldier, game 1 he went mech, game 2 he went 2-on-1. So are we going to see Bio coming out from him in the end? We shall see. As the opener from our Zerg player is pretty standard, all things considered. Once again, he throws down that Roach Warren. This just feels like signature Ryu. He just feels safer opening up with roaches like this. If it's mech, then he's got roaches to deal with it. If it's Bio, then he just morphs him into Ravagers, and it helps him deal with the Bio tank pushes that come out. It's maybe not the most efficient way to play, but it is where Ryu has found success. As the Overlord dips in, and once again he confirms it is not a triple CC before star port. opener. So he knows it's not economic focused. For all he knew, it could be BC again. This time the Overlord was killed a little bit earlier, but at the same time you could argue that the building positioning isn't necessarily where it should be, as ooh, 2 additional Raxes are thrown down. Ryu didn't see that Stim was starting. And there we go, spores are being thrown down. So again, like game 1 we saw BC. From what he has seen so far, it could be BC again. So Ryu, he is in the dark. He's playing with a little bit of incomplete information. As Yan actually throws down a third behind us. Ooh, okay. I was worried he was going to be a little bit more committed, but no, not at all. This goes for a bit of a Hellion drop. There are Lings waiting in the main base. There are Queens here at the third, so the Hellions are having a hard time finding damage. He does end up dropping here in the main, but again, he's not really going to find too much here. Ryu is able to sort this away and defend at home. And we're getting into a bio game. I'm happy to say this. So he's kind of... I appreciate that YanXII is willing to explore other kinds of Terran styles against Zerg. We're not seeing mech 2 games in a row, thankfully. He is bouncing between mech and bio, keeping his opponents on their toes and keeping us on our toes as well, you know. I dreaded to see mech 2 games in a row. But like, who doesn't love watching bio against Zerg? Who doesn't love watching Ling Bane versus Marine? But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, because we've seen in the past that Ryu doesn't necessarily go Ling Bane. He goes Roach Ravager into Lurker, if he can get away with it. Meanwhile, finally he is here. Shout out to For Sure's in the chat. Kind of a shout out to For Sure's in the chat, as he was gifted a sub by Lord Logan for 3 months. Oh my god. Wait, For Sure's has only been subbed for 3 months? Exclamation mark Funada For Sure's. I thought it was longer than that. I'm pretty sure it's been longer than that. Maybe that's just gifted subs. I don't know. But welcome, For Sure's. Welcome. It's good to see you. Good to see you again. As Ryu is going for a bit of a scout, finally to confirm everything in the main base, to confirm the additional Raxes. That is it. It is of course bio. We did see a bit of a Hellion force on top of the duck, clearing up what creep it could. Ryu is going to have to come back and respread that, but at the same time we have a triple drop. This is scouted, as Ryu did have control of the watchtower. We do see Infestation Pit finishing up. We do have a Baneling Nest as a response, as well as 1-1. Again, this is all pretty late, all things considered. Ryu has to rely on Roach Queen to defend. And he is able to force away this drop for the time being. Baneling Nest is going to finish up. Hellions YOLO into the natural base. Bit of a feels bad, man. They do get cleaned up. But what's important to note is that this does mean that Baneling's speed is very late. And YanXII definitely has a window here where he can push out, and he's going to have slow Banes to deal with. Like, it's going to be that much easier to try and force himself in. But this triple drop is not finding too much success here on that left-hand side of the map. Like, there is plenty of army to defend. YanXII's trying to go for some multi-prong, and maybe he can force a cancel here. 5th base was only just now thrown down, so not that much HP. And can definitely find some damage here, as Baneling speed is finally on the way, reaching that halfway point. Once it's done, Ryu should honestly be feeling pretty safe enough to throw down a Hydroden, safe enough to start working on those lurkers. But Yan, oh my god, the friendly fire! Don't like this. I was about to say YanXII's having a hard time finding damage with the multi-prong attack and the Widow Mine, the Traitor Mine. Oh god. Ryu defends. He's getting the Hydroden. He's getting the Hive. He is working towards those lurkers, and I don't think YanXII can stop him anymore. We have Baneling speed. We have Banes. I think we have enough army, and these pushes don't seem to be strong enough to really force the way in and end the game before lurkers come into play. He's gonna try. I love it. Widow Mine drop being set up. Oh boy. I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like Tunneling closes a little bit late, especially because it's been relying on Widowmines for a while now. But it's on the way. The Bio Army is gonna try and trade, and this time no friendly fire from the Widowmine, but it does get taken out by the Ravager. A little bit of friendly fire actually from the Ravager itself. Meanwhile, Widowmine drop is coming in. Oh, the friendly fire again takes out the medevac. Terrans, look away. Not like this. Not like this. What I will say is that YanXII has done a really good job at denying creep spread here towards the south. Not so much towards the north, which is a little bit worrisome. The Roach Army is going for a bit of a counterattack. What is there here to defend? Not much, to be honest. So they're going to get a couple of worker kills. Planetary Fortress only just now starting. Oh, and this is great for Ryu. Like, Ryu is close to maxing out. He needs to throw away these roaches. The roaches are dead supply for the time being. That Lurker then, it's about to finish up. Hive is done. 2-2 about to finish up as well. So we can see 3-3. We can see Adrenal Glands. We can see Groove Spines and Adaptive Talons. There they are. Lurker upgrades are on the way. And the problem is that YanXII is still stuck with Biomine. This is not a good army against Lurkers. 9 Lurkers in production. Like, we need Ghosts. We need Liberators. Liberator production has started, which is good. Is he going to have enough in time, though? Because he's diving deep into creep. At the same time, Ryu goes for a massive Ling run by. Can he get the tank? It looks like he will not. Just barely will get the tank with only a single Ling on it. Doesn't get too many workers there. At the same time, Marine's coming, but oh god! Don't go too deep. Lurkers are here, and the Lings finally get some damage done. They finally get into the mineral line. Unfortunately, there was a little bit too much chaos going on here. YanXII was trying to control on 2 fronts, and in the end, he does lose the mineral line. Trying to find a way in, but there are just Lurkers left and right. He cannot push in, and we have the double Nidus! Ryu, he defends everything at home. He has an Overseer already set up in the main base. There is the double Nidus. YanXII, please notice he does have an army at home. He does have units here. We're getting ready for run-bys, and no, Papi, no, it's right there. Oh god, the Nidus was finished. YanXII didn't see, he didn't notice, and the Lurkers come in. We do see a scan, and the Liberator is going to go to town. Again, Liberators are really what's keeping YanXII in this game right now. These Lurkers aren't dealing as much damage as they could have been. At the same time, the ground army is headed towards the 3rd base, and I don't think there's much here. YanXII. Oh, the Biles connect. They take out the medevac. These Lurkers all get cleaned up, which is a good trade for Yan, but he pulled his entire army up to deal with it, and he will lose the 3rd. He could lose more than the 3rd. Ryu, he just keeps on going. He's making more Lings, Banes, and Lurkers at home. The Biles do connect with some of these libs. And at this point, the damage has been done. YanXII, he's crippled. He's down 20 workers. He's down a base. And as time goes on, these Ravagers are doing an excellent job at sniping these Liberators. And without the Liberators, how do you deal with all these Lurkers? You don't. Every single Liberator is now sniped. Now the Lurkers they're free to just continue on to wreak havoc. GG gets called, and Ryu takes the series 2-0. GG. Just like that. One moment, YanXII's on 4 bases. He's fully saturated. He's transitioning into Liberators, and in one swift move, just like that, Ryu, he's able to pull the army apart, take out the 3rd base, take out a lot of the production. He loses a bunch of Lurkers, but like his own economy was left perfectly fine. The Widowmine drops, the Harass wasn't really doing much at all. There was a little bit of damage with the Hellions early on in the mineral lines, but what was that, like 9-10 worker kills, and that was it. Oof. GG. GG, well played, Ryu. We'll move on to the semifinals.